SOBs, actually the legendary SOBs. There was no alcohol, 5-hour energy, and there's no Red Bull. We're strictly on vitamin water and smart water. So Wiz Khalifa, it's number 11 on the Forbes Hip Hop Cash Kings list. So out of all the newcomers, B.o.B, Drake, Nicki, he's the only one not affiliated to a camp.
This is the dude who turned down a deal from Rick, then turned down the tour with Drake. Drake wanted to have him on tour with him, and he was like, nah, I'm good over here, I'm doing this. To have that kind of balls and confidence in your own shit.
On the cusp of Rick Ross signing everybody, and not to say like Ross was doing with Meek Mill and Wale, that could have been Wiz Khalifa, but he chose otherwise, and he succeeded otherwise.
The thing I admire most about Wiz, if I had to say it was any one thing, is the fact that when he was offered these other things from more established artists at the time, he didn't take the safety net of, well, I'll put my fate in somebody else's hands, and you know, he bet on himself every time. You gotta respect that, like the balls it takes to do that in this business where everybody needs a cosign.
It's a monumental feat. He's been grinding for like 6 or 7 years, put out numerous amounts of mixtapes, so he toured like crazy. The album was solid, and there's nothing really to take away from him. So every buck he has, he's earned. Many endorsement deals, merchandise deals are gonna come out after next year, and he's gonna come out with another album. Really can't argue with 11 million and being at the 11th spot. Like, that's his first time. That's crazy for him. Well, how he's like 23?
The fact that he, with no camp, no real affiliation, his own grind, blew up, made 11 million in his own pocket. That's a monumental feat in this day and age when all they try to do is convince you that you can't make it without a major label. And he's like truly independent, making money with the big boys.
Wiz is signed to Atlantic.
Left Warner, now with Atlantic. So
he had a deal, he left the deal, and now he's on the Forbes list. You know what I mean? That's doing it your own way, making the right decisions.
There's so much media training or stage prepping you could do. Like, you can't make a superstar.
Something really infectious about him. He's incredibly charismatic. You want to see a little bit more of him. He's here for a while.
That's probably the secret to his success. Very charismatic, always smiling. I don't know if it comes across as much on his records, his charisma, but in person, on stage, photo shoots, you see it right away. It's like you just want to hang with him.
Certain people you just want to root for, so it's like, all right.
The stage show is where it comes from. You can't teach charisma. It's impossible. You can't teach personality. We all know rappers in this room who rhyme their ass off. You talk to them and it's like watching a cardboard box on stage. Like, they got all the personality of growing grass. The shit sucks. He's got it natural. And when he says Taylor Gang, which is like one of the smartest things ever, he made everybody feel like we're one big crew. It's not me coming on stage. It's us coming to the venue. And the Taylors are coming. It's not Wiz Khalifa. It's the Taylors showing up.
That's something him and Big Sean have in common. Like the whole finally famous theme, and you know, people want to be famous or, you know, being appreciative of their craft and being recognized. So Big Sean has really tailored that market for him. Like, that's like the mini Kanye. Like, I want you to appreciate me. Like, here's what I have to offer, appreciate me. And now that you appreciate me, I'm finally famous.
When an artist is being charismatic, that's not something you can teach them. It's not something you can buy. It's only something you can sell. You can sell your charisma, but you can't buy it for an artist. You can't make them likable and cool and somebody that people want to be around. That just doesn't happen. If you think they're dicks from the door, it doesn't matter how much good music they put out, they're still dicks. The fact that he's charismatic on stage and able to pull the crowd into what he's doing and make them all want to be crew to get together with that Taylor Gang thing, you can't teach that.
Whether or not you like the music or not, you gotta respect the man for what he did. $11 million with the big boys on the Forbes list, past a lot of people. You gotta salute that shit.
Business-wise, he has a successful line of t-shirts and all this merchandise.
So we tried to get Wiz when he started the bubble, and one of the things that we were really impressed with was how incredible his live performance was and how much of a production it already was. Like, he had it all set up, and I think speaking to his management, they had a serious plan in terms of building his buzz through the live show and spreading it real like grassroots. My name is Koza. I am the director of marketing and publicity here at SOBs. The goal usually for me is to get as many shows as possible sold out, varying degrees of success. SOBs live music venue. We're actually celebrating, I think, our 30th year is coming up actually in a few months next year. Whether he's a skillful rapper is not necessarily something that you need to enjoy his show, but it's a fun show.
Wiz has earned his spot on the Forbes list, Billboard list, with all his fans. And whether you agree with his content, whether you like his content, like, you gotta show his respect through his grind. Like, it's an organic grassroots campaign. Like, 6 or 7 years, put out numerous amounts of mixtapes, numerous deals offered to him, numerous slots on tours offered to him, and he chose to do it his own way. So you can be mad at him or you can enjoy what he has to offer, but he's not going anywhere. Kid's only 23, he's already on the Forbes list.
He doesn't have to have that monster single, but as long as he turns out music that's gonna penetrate the top 10, he'll be fine. Not necessarily shocked that he made the list, but that he had made $11 million, but yo, freaking dope. Absolutely dope. And smart. to me, that kind of makes me like him a little bit more as a brand, because it's showing that, yo, you're making some smart moves. You don't just make $11 million as a rookie off of music. He's definitely making some smart behind the scenes and merchandising moves, and I think that's dope. If you recall, following his intervention, Lowe said that he was going to take August off from drinking because he didn't have a problem, and it was nothing hard for him to do. Lowe's drinking fast lasted about 9 hours. I actually watched him drink a Jack and Sprite. I've consumed no alcohol in like days. So we went clean this week. Lowe had no alcohol. He had some before he came, by the way. I didn't have any Red Bull or any 5 Hour Energy. Instead, we had the lovely people at Glacier, shout out to Preston, hooked us up with some smart water and some vitamin water because it's healthier for us, and they don't want us to do damaging things to our bodies.
You don't have 5 Hour Energy?
Exactly. In the absence of me drinking and Jazz taking a 5 Hour Energy drink, it was no role. I had, I have a headache. So when I have a headache, I tend to get more serious. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is our official sponsor. This is what happens. This is Jazz not on drugs.
I think Jazz sobers up. She needs to talk more. Would you, Monk, would y'all shut the hell up? Slick back, take it light. I'll sweep kick you.
Fuck Mecca. Fuck what Mecca thinks. Mecca's the sensitive one of the group. Like, we have to give him a lot of hugs off camera. Shut up!
So do you guys think the debates worked out better this way, or should we go back to drunken caffeine?